um, spontaneously. So um, I don't know if you've seen my emails, if you're on my email list, but I'm not currently in my hometown. I am away mourning the death of a very closed loved one, and therefore I took some time off from emailing, sending emails, or even the launch of my program, which is the full program of detox, which I'm planning to launch, which I was planning to launch actually in the beginning of January. And because of this unfortunate incident, I decided to not do it because I wasn't feeling like it. And hi everyone, welcome to everyone who's watching live, and as well as for people who are watching on replay. So as you're joining, please let me know which part of the world you are joining from, which city you are currently in, and a little about yourself. So if you are someone who's new to my channel, or who's been watching my videos for a while, you know I have been documenting my life, actually not life so much, but my lifestyle, whether that's fitness, medication, treatment for psoriasis, and then my journey, which has been actually over 2 years now. Incidentally, that's coincidentally, it's just 2 years of me having started my treatment with this Ayurvedic doctor, who told me that the only way to get rid of psoriasis is by getting rid of anger and not any diet or medicine or detox, which we normally assume is what treats or heals us. Um, Initially, people think, okay, let's go to get some, creams or pills and so on. And then when that doesn't work, which is often the case with psoriasis, because it's not something that can be cured. At least allopathy doesn't claim to have a cure for it, and they say that openly. I mean, most of the doctors that I encountered, even other people, my students and clients that I have worked with, they felt that the doctors either were not confident about being able to heal them, or they outright said on their faces that this is not curable. So people typically start with that route of starting with allopathy, and then when they don't get results, or they get results and then they come back in a very bad way, as in they come back tenfolds, then they try out other alternative treatments like homeopathy, ayurvedic, or some just give up and handle that as and when it pops up. Hi everyone, hi Kismat, hi Sun Moon Lights. So let me know as and when you're joining, where you're joining, which city you are based in, and which video of mine actually you first encountered me, like, because I was doing videos for different like topics. So when I started, I was doing about fashion, and then I started doing a little bit of vlogs showing my travel during COVID, and then I was doing about income and business, like my experiences of having income from an early age and always wanting to have my own side hustle. And then I think somewhere, oh yeah, and then there was a big chunk of me. Thank you, Tiffany. Hi. Tiffany is saying I'm looking good. Sahil Asil Farm is asking, can we know what are you doing here? What does that mean? Here I'm doing a live. And by the way, I'm right now in Orissa. So anyone who's watching from Orissa, hi, I'm right now in Orissa. I stay in West Bengal. So Vishal Gupta, what you do? That's a great question. What do you mean? Vikas Jaiswal is saying Radhe 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 Radhe, and Virender Until is saying so beautiful. Okay, thank you. So I don't know if you have been watching my channel previously. Let me know if you've been watching my channel previously, or whether you are new. Do you know Angul in Orissa? No, I don't actually. Where is that? Are you from Orissa, Tiffany? Okay, so I'm going to keep chatting and trying to come back to this. I don't know the story. What was the plan for this thing? I've never done a live on a vertical, I think. This is my first time. So I mean, your English is so good. You're in corporate. Thank you. Yes, I used to be in corporate. But I think my English is good way before that, because I used to, I mean, I'm from an English medium school and I used to read a lot, and I've always had the gift of speaking. So in school, I used to be selected for extempo and speech and debates and all those things. So I have that practice. Okay, Tiffany is saying I'm from Delhi, but I know about Orissa. Okay, I've lived in Delhi too, so I've lived a little bit all over, and I was in Delhi for 6 months before I moved to Chennai with my corporate job. Okay, so as I was saying, let me know which type of video made you aware of my channel. Okay, Sahil, Asil Farm, ICSE or CBSE? ICSE. What about you? So where was I with my story? Oh yeah, of having treating yourself from a stubborn skin condition, and people then typically, from my experience, either give up or they just treat it as and when the rashes come back, or they just go about life, or they try alternative treatments. So I tried alternative treatments, and I tried Ayurveda from a long time, and then however I was always having like problems with continuation, because I would be in West Bengal, my doctor would be here in Orissa, or I would be in India, I mean I would be abroad and then my doctor would be in India. So getting the medications, having the doctor see me, or basically having an ongoing thing was very difficult. Even communicating with the doctor when I'm not in the same place as him was difficult, and even more when I would not be in the same time zone. So when I was in France, then it would be very difficult to get on a call with doctors, and that time there was not much availability of video calls and so on. And these Ayurvedic doctors, they're typically not so savvy, corporate savvy. They are also very simple, at least the doctors that I went to, the ones in Odisha. Yeah, so Tiffany, my name is Oindrila, and my name is Oindrila. Okay, so coming back to stubborn skin conditions, let me know if you are suffering from any. I had psoriasis for over 30 years, and then in between I used to also have eczema. Like last year I had this very bad very bad state of eczema, which was very, very painful for me. And yeah, that was exactly a year ago. And I remember, I think it was 21st January or 19th January when I had scabies and then eczema, and so on. Okay, so then I tried this, and then I met the Ayurvedic doctor who's currently who's been treating me for the past 2 years now. Like I mentioned, it's been 2 years since I started treatment under him, and he told me over time that, I mean, when he was comfortable enough to say that because not everyone would take this nicely, is that when you are able to let go of anger and get rid of anger is when you're able to get rid of psoriasis forever. Because any diet or medicine or any amount of detox is not going to heal anyone. And at that time I didn't ask him a lot of questions, simply because I already knew about this. I knew that psoriasis is a psychosomatic condition, and therefore I did not want to I did not feel the need to ask him more questions. Some people might not see the link, but for me it was very clear why he would say so. Because I was already doing the process of letting go of resentments and grudges, because I was the queen of holding them back. Last email I mentioned how the death of the loved one made me realize how pointless and futile these grudges are even more. I mean, like, I knew them in theory. One thing is knowing it in theory, and then there is something that makes you realize it even in a deeper level. And that's exactly what happened, because my mother was saying, I overheard my mom saying that I wish, not like, she said that I used to disagree with her, as in her mother, and now she's not there, and so all those disagreements also have disappeared in a way, because now they have no Now she has no one to fight with or get angry with. So those disagreements also have no existence. And that made me think that, grudges and resentments are not real, because if something is real, it would be real and true all the time. It would be a fact all the time. So they're just like imaginations, are it's something we create. Grudges and resentments, they don't exist in reality, they exist only in our head. And or at the most it exists with someone else, if you're disagreeing or getting angry with someone else or fighting with someone else. But when that person is gone, those disagreements and fights also go with them, unless of course it's in your head and you still have resentments. That's another thing. But if you think about it, they have no validity. So it was quite deep realization. And I always say that if something is true, it would be true at all times. So if the sun is shining today, it was shining yesterday and it will shine tomorrow. So it's a fact. The sun shines and gives us light, and all these, the sunlight, beautiful sunlight, for which I'm being able to do this video and looking nice, natural sunlight, no light, gives food to all the plants which are in the garden. I'll also show you my garden in a bit. Garden of the place where I'm right now. And so this is a fact. The sun exists. This is a fact. It existed yesterday, it exists today, and it will exist tomorrow. We are very confident about that. But your disagreements and grudges and resentments, if they went away with the person who also went away, then they were not real. They are not true. Because something which is a fact, like the sun rises in the east, okay, that's not actually a fact. Doesn't really rise, is what I'm trying to say. Let's say, what else? Something that is a fact, like the sun shines, right? That is a fact. So that existed yesterday, that exists today, and exists tomorrow, will exist tomorrow. That is a fact, and it doesn't change, and it will be shining for millions of years from today. So that is the truth. Our grudges and things, that resentments, anger, in fact all our negative feelings, they're all creations of our mind. Like, you can't touch, feel, see it. You can see the sun shine, right? In any part of the world, actually, it really doesn't go away. It's shining all the time. It's just that you can't see it, but it's shining all the time. You can see it until sunset in your part of the world. So it's something you can see, you can feel the warmth of the sun. But your grudges and resentments, you can't really touch them, feel them, see them. They're only in your mind. You can't do anything within your senses. Like, can you taste it, touch it, feel it, hold it? The grudge and the resentment, no. So it's a creation of your mind, and therefore it's not real. So this is pretty much the basis, like it's one of like the very deep, eventually this is really what our life's work is. And Sun Moon Lights is saying you have psoriasis, so tell me, what have you tried so far? What's been your experience? How long you've had it? Tell me a little bit more, and yeah. So drop it in the comments, and that's going to help others also, people in the community who might also be looking for information, companionship, or just knowing that they're not alone in this journey. In fact, that's one thing that really helped me when I started my journey 2 years ago, knowing that there are other people who've had it from childhood. I had it from childhood, from the age of 6. So I've met people in my life who've had it from childhood, who've got it in their adulthood, but I never really had the chance to discuss so much. Like, I had this one colleague actually who had it from childhood, and even now she's healed. So she had a very tough childhood, and then when she eventually found her partner and settled down in life, as in terms of financially, she's got stable and found her partner, is when her psoriasis also went away. And it was not that severe, and eventually it has gone away. So again, proving the very thing that I'm saying, that which the doctor said, like, when you are able to let go of anger, you're able to get rid of psoriasis. And she was not doing any particular diet or anything, apart from obviously from her diet. She's a bodybuilder. So Yeah, ultimately it's the ability to let go of negative emotions is what actually heals you, because like I said, all these negative emotions, they are not true, they are just illusions of our mind, or all our worries, fears, grudges, anger, they're not true, because the only thing that is true is love and peace and joy, because that's what God created. Even if you don't believe in God, that's the true, um, that's what is true, that's what this world is. And if you are able to be at that higher stage of feelings, which is obviously not very easy, and that's what really I think our life's journey is, I feel at this point, to be able to stay at that high vibration, um, and longer, and sometimes you fall back, which you will, because you're a human being, and then you have to keep coming back up into that high vibration. So yeah, is utmost important. So Sun Moon Lights is saying taking care of your well-being is of utmost importance, utmost priority. I couldn't have agreed more. I couldn't have agreed more. I often find this saying, like I often see people. In fact, I'm an introvert. Like I've said this so many times, I'm an introvert, and I really don't spend a lot of time with people. I mean, like socializing with people outside of my family, or so much. Even when my family is there, I tend not to spend time talking with them. I just being in the company. I just like knowing that they are around me. So, but I might not always engage with them. But because of this funeral, there were many relatives, and then talking to them. I'm seeing them after ages, seeing people, and I'm noticing how most people nowadays really talk about how their illnesses, whether they're young or old or in between, middle aged, doesn't matter. Everybody's talking about the illnesses, or I can see that they're not, they're suffering from some knee pain or something. Even like no matter how old or how young they are, it's no more something that happens to you when you are old, from what I'm noticing, because the lifestyle is so messed up now, because people are running after and chasing things which are not important. As Sun Moon Lights is like, it's not the priority, but people make it a priority, and then they chase things which eventually makes them go off what I think is a natural life, and makes them stressed, makes them worried, and then that's what causes all illnesses, if you really think about it. And most people, I think, I'm in a smaller town now. It's not like a city life, and people here are not in corporate or chasing things as much as people in cities, I would imagine. People here are like a little more chilled out and laid back, and have simpler lives and have slower lives. And here, pretty much, there will be people who will say things like, stress causes illnesses, because of stress we fell sick. So that awareness is there, but I feel that's a little less limited in cities, because then people over there, they blame like, oh, it's a pollution, oh, it's the food nowadays, and so on and so forth. But I think this thinking that stress and stress causes illnesses is quite a fundamental and commonly accepted theory in Indian culture. And I mean, whether you are into studying medicine, Indian medicine, or Ayurveda or not, or Indian scriptures, it's quite commonly known. That's what it feels to me. So, like I was saying about, I wanted to finish the thought, and I've forgotten now what was that thought. I think I was talking about, yeah, what I'm noticing is, are people young, old, in between, they have some sort of illness or the other, whether it's mild situation like a mild backache, or a constantly falling sick in terms of getting a cold, having sinus, um, and then of course the old age other problems like diabetes and pressure and so on, whatever it is, or hair fall, thyroid, that's becoming very common, it seems, amongst young people. Stress between parents plays effect on, yes, definitely. So all these things, um, it's just making me feel like I'm someone, I know many people, including my own mother, she criticizes me. So sometimes, okay, these are all these mosquitoes, But I'll show you the garden also. That's why there are a lot of mosquitoes, because it's like full of plants here. um, from what I get, I know I get a lot of flack from my own mother, saying that, I um, like, people, like, I'm chilled out and laid back, which I wasn't always, because the very fact that I had suffered for so long mentally and physically is because then I was a very anxious and very go-getter kind of person, which I still am, but it's just that I don't get stressed about it. I try not to get stressed about it, and I know what my priorities are. So all this to just say, like, I wanted to dwell on that priority thing, that I feel nowadays most people, they can't distinguish between what is a need and what is a want. So they think that all their uh, wants are their needs, and I think that's what is causing stress. This is my understanding, and the reason why I usually don't get stressed, I mean, I do get stressed, but the reason why I'm able to chill out and I'm still able to go after my dreams and still be ambitious is because I know what is my need and what is my want, and I do not beat myself up over things that I want but I may not have. And I know the things which I need, and if I have them, then I'm good. And I know the things that I want, I keep working at them, but I don't give myself hell for it, which I used to do earlier, by the way. I used to confuse the difference between need and want. Now I know what my needs are. My needs are basically having food, having my family healthy, and if they're not healthy, then try to get them back in a healthy lifestyle. Try to you know uh, help them in either by guiding them or helping them in whichever way they want, which is pretty much what I do also here on YouTube. I guide other people with psoriasis and eczema, nurse them, like tell them what they should and shouldn't do. That's what I do in the mental detox program, and I do the same for my family. So for me, I need to know that my family is there, and that's important for me because I like to I like my, I mean, like, that's what is important. Otherwise, what's the point of all this if you're just not able to share this? That again, I have learned through life, because before that I was like, I'll be fine by myself, but then I realized I really would like to share my life, the good and the bad, with my family, and that's what makes it worthy. Just like how I miss my grandmother, the moments when I shared with her, which I really miss, which are the things that I remember now. I don't remember the grades in school or other things, right? So I know what my needs are. All this to say that I know what my needs are, and I don't confuse them with wants. So my needs are food, roof, and my family, being at peace. And like Sun Moonlight said, that stress between parents, stress between any family members that you care about causes stress. So if they are good and they're not fighting us, all those things and all that stuff, then I know that's it. Those are my basic minimum requirements. And then after that, everything else is a bonus. And I mean, they could be there in my life and they could not be there, but I'll be fine. So, but most people, I feel nowadays, they confuse, like they need to have the latest phone, they need to have like a car to impress their neighbors or their relatives or their friends, they need to have some branded clothes, or I mean, I'm not saying those are not good things. Like I also love clothes, makeup, shoes. I love the finer things in life, good food. I like all these things. I love clothes and all that stuff. But if I don't have them, I'm fine. Other people seem to place a lot of value, and they're like, I need to get into, like, I need to have. Nowadays I see kids nowadays going to so many classes, right? They're like, after school they're going for music, sports, like several sports, and then parents feel that they need to also earn at that level to give their kids all those tuitions and private tutors. And I mean, you don't need them. That's a want. And even there is only so much energy and energy a child has after school to go to a tuition or a class every day. And they also need to live life. Like they're not born to just be this talented achiever so that you can show up. I mean, ultimately we can, if you're being honest, we can all like understand why parents are doing that, so that they can later on show off their kids and feel like they have raised a good child. But then, like, are they really interested in the well-being of the child? Like, why would you want that for your child, where they're coming back from school and then right after that, Monday to Sunday, I mean like 7 days a week, they're off doing some extracurriculars, and it's no longer a pleasure, and they no longer develop an interest in it because they're tired and they feel like it's a chore. So yeah, I mean, and this applies to really adults too. They also work so much and then they come back because they have so many, loans and EMIs, and they want to work because they think they have all these commitments which they think they need, and then they are working all the time and they are not spending time with their kids, and the kids really don't want all the latest gadgets and all. Like, they might tell you that they want the latest gadget or something fancy, but every kid, if you ask them, if you have an honest conversation with them or you pay attention, they really value your time. So they would rather have some good moments with their parents than have the latest gadgets. Like, people remember experiences is what I was actually trying to is how I would summarize this, because I've had this experience with my niece. Like, her parents are very busy and they're always high strung, as in they're always anxious and irritated because they're running from one part of the city to another, driving around the kids, then doing their own chores, running the household. So essentially they give them all these, latest things and buy them things and get them the tutors and get them like send them to all these extracurriculars. But the child, and then in between, because they're stressed, the parents, they're fighting between themselves, like you're saying, and I can see it's affecting my niece. So, and I remember I was baking a cake with her, and she said, next day that, this was the best experience of my life, because that's what people remember, that someone cared enough to spend time with them or do something that they enjoy, and see them and spend time with them, not just, use them as a thing for feeling good about themselves, because that's what it is. Like, I know many parents will say, no, I'm doing my duty, but let's be honest, what are they doing it for? They're doing it so that their child can make them proud one day, and or be successful, and then they can feel good about themselves. Yeah, there's a huge difference. I mean, children can sense it, I mean, my niece may not be aware of what I'm saying that, but she can sense it, that something makes her feel good and something doesn't. Like, me baking cake with her makes her feel good, but her getting the best gadgets or something fancy just because, like, someone just gives it to you so that they can finish on their duty, there's a huge difference. And children can sense that, anyone can sense that. I'm able to articulate that, and she articulated how she felt in words, so that kind of validated what I already felt and I suspected. Yeah. So yeah, that was a long thing, and I think that ties into what, I mean, I didn't intend to go there, but that ties into what Sunmoon Lights was saying, stress between parents. Yeah. And then people, like parents, when kids see parents fighting, they also inherit, also learn those ways of reacting and dealing with people when they are under stress, because when people are angry, they're really stressed or they're sad, and they're shouting at each other, and then kids also learn to deal with their anger and stress like that. So I mean, like, obviously I need not say that I was also a very angry person, and that's why obviously I had this stubborn and traumatic skin condition, and I had to learn it the hard way. And I think that's pretty much why I even bothered to, because I realized that I don't think I would have done it had it not been something so painful. I wouldn't have thought that this is how most people behave in life, because seeing angry people nowadays is so common. People yelling on the road rage, shouting at each other, yelling at each other on the road, getting angry, honking, road rage, and overall you can see it on the outside. You can pretty much guess that's how they behave inside their houses. Right? So it's so common that I would have thought there is nothing wrong with behaving this way, except that I used to feel bad after getting angry, and when I would like lose my temper, I would feel embarrassed of having behaved that way. So apart from that, I really had no indication of how it's affecting my health in this way. And then my doctor, when he mentioned it to me, I was already in the process of doing mental detox, but I realized, because I had realized that holding resentments and grudges are not helping me. They're affecting my relationships, my wealth, and definitely my health. So I was already in the process of doing the 6-step mental detox program. I mean, the mental detox process, which I now teach to others who are undergoing this situation. And just having the doctor repeat it to me made it even more important for me to double down on this, because otherwise I would have just taken the help of medicines or diet, and I would have blamed that. But now when I know the ball is on my court, it's entirely my responsibility. I had no one else to blame or nothing outside of me to blame. Like, this treatment is not good, or my luck is bad, or things like that. That's when I took responsibility. And yeah, that's where I am now. And now I have taught several people to overcome this stressful and traumatic skin condition so that they can live a life of freedom. And if you're someone who's also suffering, then I would like to invite you to sign up for my waitlist for the full program, which is the detox program, where I teach you how to heal yourself using the 6-step process of mental detox, so that you can go from itchy, scaly skin to healthy and smooth skin in 6 weeks. So if you have any questions when you're watching this on replay, you can always leave them in the comments. I believe they should be available. I've not done a live in vertical format, I think, before. So I hope you're able to leave comments below, and this stays on also, because I think the last live I did not leave the comments on, or the replay on, something like that. So the link for the signing up for the waitlist for the program, which is going to be launched in a few days, it's going to be in the description box below. And also let me know where you are in your journey of healing psoriasis. Thank you so much. Bye. Okay, how do I end this?